Hello everybody, this is Old Joe Rock and welcome to Live and Unscripted. I wanted today to talk to you a little bit about the rise and fall of Anthony Wiener and what lessons we can share and learn from his story. Because today I understand that Anthony Wiener has submitted himself or turned himself into a sexual addiction clinic for help. Now, I'll begin the story, this is just from memory. In around 1988, Anthony Wiener started his political career as an aide to then House member Schumer. Chuck Schumer was a member of the House of Representatives, and Anthony Wiener became sort of an aide. A few years later, when Schumer decided to run for the Senate, Anthony Wiener ran for Congress and I believe took Schumer's seat. Vacating the seat vacated by Chuck Schumer, Anthony Wiener got. Now, think about this. You're a young man, well, he probably would have been in his early 30s, and you're a member of the House of Representatives. Now, Anthony Wiener had a reputation, and you can see some of the videos of his behavior in Congress of being a loudmouth jerk. Now, I lived in New York during this time, and he was just a dick. You know what I mean? He had, like, no couth. His behavior was just very arrogant and very... Even New York behavior just kicked up a notch. It was just out of control. His behavior, his arrogance, and the sort of liberal crap that he would spew and the anger. And you can see this in some of these videos. I won't have to go there. If you're really interested, you can just Google it, or you have to look it on YouTube and find some of these public appearances, even on the House floor. So that's one thing that really got him some spotlight and attention, right? Maybe he thought he would help further his career. This is probably his default behavior. I don't think this was an act. This is just how he is, okay? Now, part of it is New York City, New York behavior. Some of it is, but a lot of it is just, and you may say there's some of it is the Jewish comedy type of behavior, right? Where people go over the top. And it's maybe a mixture in there with politics, but it is what it is, okay? And the fact is the fact. Okay, now, think about this. You're in the House of Representatives. I mean, for most people, whether you're interested in a career in politics or not, just interested in your career, that is a major milestone. You're in the House of Representatives. You are one of a small portion of the population who is representing the country, and as a House member, you're representing at least 50,000 constituents in New York. You would think that you would behave in a certain way and that whatever problems or, I don't know, you'd have the discipline to control your urges. Now, during this time, Anthony Wiener married Uba Abedin. Now, just as an aside, Anthony Wiener is a Jew and Uba Abedin is Muslim. And Uba Abedin's Muslim background is actually closely tied to the Muslim Brotherhood. And as we've seen in Egypt and other places, these guys are not middle-of-the-road Muslims. They are actual very extremist. If you read their paperwork, their documentation, their charter. Although some may argue that they do good things when they're not in power, right? In terms of community service and stuff like that. Whatever. But I digress. Coming back to Anthony Wiener. Okay, you're a member of Congress, and then he gets caught sexting lewd pictures, basically dick pics of himself on Twitter to various people. Now, as I've said many times, guys, if you're in politics and there's a sexual scandal, why don't you either A, just fess up to it, or B, simply state, my personal business is my personal business that has nothing to do with managing the country, something like that. I mean, guys, we have to get, if you want to get this out of the media or out of, some kind of scrutiny, we have to start standing up to this stuff. Okay, simply denying it, and then later on when the evidence comes out, because now in today's, we can check things in real time. We've got the internet, we've got Google, we've got Facebook, we've got whatever, the NSA. All this information is out there and it's very difficult to delete once it's out there, okay? So my advice for all politicians and anyone in the public sphere if you've done something embarrassing and it wasn't done on company time, I believe the line should be, listen, this is my personal business. It was done on personal time. I thought we wanted the government to stay out of our bedrooms. Leave it at that. Why lie? Why lie when you know you're going to get caught? And that's what happened to Anthony Wiener. He was forced to resign from Congress. Now, how humiliating is that? Right? I don't even know if he finished his 2-year term. I don't even know what happened. But then he was discredited. He was disgraced. He was forced to resign from Congress. Right after he was so arrogant and, just the behavior was horrible, right? He apologizes on national TV, blah, 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 tries to do the whole apology thing. And then he tries to run for mayor of New York. And during the campaign, because they actually had sort of reality TV following them, he is exposed once again for sending out dick pics and who knows what else. And he's forced to drop out of the race. Now, he really had no chance of winning mayor, but who knows? Stranger things have happened, right? He was forced to resign from withdraw from the race. And that's the next thing that happened. Now, we find that, obviously, he's still married to Uma Abedin, who's one of the lead, if not the most valuable assistants to Hillary Rodham Clinton as she was Secretary of State during her term as Secretary of State. Now, you may not like it, but Donald J. Trump has said many times he does not like the fact that Uma is married to Anthony, who's a freak, and that, Uma learns certain secrets possibly and comes home and tells Anthony Wiener. Well, it gets even worse than that, as we've discovered. Apparently, they shared the same computer, and the FBI discovered 650,000, that's right, 650,000 emails on this supposed shared computer. Now, and supposedly it was in a folder marked insurance policy. So, since we know that 33,000 emails at a minimum were deleted from the Hillary Clinton's private email server that was set up and used illegally for State Department business, where we know that classified information was sent and received by Hillary Clinton. Clear violation of the law. Mishandling of classified information, even if it's accidental, is punishable by fines and prison sentences. Now, Hillary, we know, lied to Congress. She lied to the FBI. And so far, she's not been prosecuted, but the case has been reopened. Now, Anthony Wiener, because of his behavior, the spotlight was on him already in a new sexting case where he is alleged to have been sharing rape fantasies with a 14 or 15-year-old girl, and that's why the FBI was looking into his machine, and they found this treasure trove of 650,000 emails. Okay? So, what can we learn from this? And Anthony Wiener probably is going to go to jail. He probably will be going to jail for this pedophilia, whatever you want to call it, type behavior. What can we learn from this? What are the conclusions? Guys, if you're a virgin, I'm just talking to younger people possibly, try to stay a virgin as long as possible. There's nothing wrong with being a virgin. Once you start having sex, it is very pleasurable and you're going to want more of it. Okay? I can tell you this, there's a bullshit, at least there was, a bullshit meme about how men peak sexually at around 18, 19, and women peak at 35. I can tell you that's complete bullshit. It really depends on your personality, the person, and your physical fitness and whatnot. But I can certainly tell you that I was definitely good at 18, 19, but I certainly didn't peak until 30, 35. I got even better. Okay? It's all about control. It's not about here. It's about here. And so that's just something to think about. So just take it easy. There's no reason to rush into it. Just take it easy. That's number one. Number two, if you can control your physical urges, that is also not just sexually, but what you eat, avoiding overeating, taking care of yourself, exercising, not only will you live a healthier life, but you can focus on what's most important to you. Now, guys like Tony Robinson's always talking about taking massive action to change your life and make it better. But that's not really what's necessary? What's necessary is just effing doing it, as the $50 billion man will tell you. Just take baby steps. Just start doing it, right? You're not going to be good in the beginning, but as you continue to do it, you will get better and better. And you have to start somewhere. It's called practice. It's called working out, right? You don't get big muscles by thinking about it. You get big muscles by just starting to work out. And you keep doing it. And you get better and better, bigger and bigger, right? That's what... Same thing with any skill. Okay? As a quick aside, that's why the latest Star Wars movie where this girl suddenly has magical powers and she never trained, it's just bogus. All right, but I digress. But these are the lessons that we can learn. Look, you reach a certain level of success, but your behavior starts with habits. Now, obviously, Anthony Wiener was corrupt before he came to Congress, and it just got worse and worse, possibly because of his arrogance and belief that, hey, he's a senator now or a congressman now, he has power, he's untouchable, and you see what happened. And then he lost his power, and it still continued to continue on. He had just these bad habits. People say habits are hard to break, but again, you make small steps, right? You want to quit smoking? Try by avoiding the habits that trigger you wanting to smoke. Hanging out with people in the smoking area will trigger you to want to smoke, right? And try smoking less. Try start exercising, right? You're just small things you can do. Go eat a carrot instead of smoking a cigarette. Carrots are actually pretty good for you and very low in calories, good fiber, and, well, help you with your eyes. But I digress. Actually, the beta-carotene in it is not necessarily proven to help your eyes, but I digress. So this is really what I wanted to talk about. It's just a wide range of things, but you can see this man who could have had a lot of success in his life, could have really gone places, potentially, who self-destructed because he had this sexual addiction, couldn't control himself. Please, control yourself, do the right thing, and make it happen for the captain because you're the captain.
It's time for real change. DJ Trump is changing the game. On a board.